Have you ever sat down to work, feeling super focused, only to find your mind wandering off just 20 minutes later? You're not alone. It's a common experience, and there's a fascinating scientific reason behind it. Today, we're diving deep into the science of concentration, exploring why our focus seems to have a 20-minute timer, and most importantly, what we can do to extend and optimize it. So, why does our attention span feel so short? It's not a personal failing. It's actually rooted in our brain's biology. Our brains are incredibly energy-intensive organs. They weigh only about 2% of our body weight but consume a whopping 20% of our daily energy. Sustained, focused attention is one of the most demanding tasks for our brain, especially for a region called the prefrontal cortex. Think of the prefrontal cortex as the CEO of your brain. It's located right behind your forehead and is responsible for executive functions like decision-making, problem-solving, and, you guessed it, directing your attention. When you decide to focus on a task, your prefrontal cortex is working hard to filter out distractions and keep you on track. But this effort requires a lot of glucose and oxygen. After about 20 to 25 minutes of intense focus, the neurons in this area start to run low on fuel. This leads to what we call cognitive fatigue. Your brain isn't broken. It's just trying to conserve energy. This is a survival mechanism that's been with us for thousands of years. Our ancestors needed to constantly scan their environment for threats and opportunities. So staying fixated on one thing for too long wasn't always the best strategy. Another key player in our attention system is a network of brain regions known as the attentional network. This includes the dorsal attention network, which helps us focus on a specific task, and the ventral attention network, which acts as a circuit breaker, pulling our attention toward unexpected but potentially important stimuli. When you're trying to work and a loud noise startles you, that's your ventral attention network kicking in. The constant battle between these two networks is another reason why maintaining focus is so challenging. Your brain is literally wired to be distractible. So, if our brains are naturally designed to lose focus after about 20 minutes, are we doomed to a life of short attention spans? Absolutely not. The key isn't to fight our biology, but to work with it. And that brings us to our first, and perhaps most famous, optimization technique, the Pomodoro technique. You've probably heard of it. Developed by Francesco Cirillo in the late 1980s. The method is simple. You work in focused 25-minute intervals, separated by short 5-minute breaks. After 4 of these cycles, you take a longer break of about 15 to 30 minutes. This technique is brilliant because it aligns perfectly with our brain's natural rhythm. It allows you to work intensely when your prefrontal cortex is at its peak and then gives it a chance to rest and refuel before it gets completely drained. During your short break, it's crucial to do something completely different. Stand up, stretch, grab a glass of water, or look out the window. Avoid checking your phone, as that just shifts your focus to another demanding task. This deliberate rest period helps replenish the glucose in your prefrontal cortex, allowing you to return to your work refreshed and ready for another focused burst. Now, let's talk about another powerful strategy, managing your environment. Our brains are incredibly sensitive to external cues. The more distractions you have around you, the harder your prefrontal cortex has to work to filter them out, and the faster it will fatigue. This is why creating a focus-friendly workspace is so important. Start by decluttering your desk. A messy space can create a sense of mental clutter, pulling your attention in different directions. Next, tackle digital distractions. Turn off notifications on your phone and computer. Every ping, buzz, or pop-up is an invitation for your ventral attention network to take over. Use website blockers if you find yourself mindlessly scrolling through social media. The goal is to make it as easy as possible for your brain to stay on task and as difficult as possible to get sidetracked. Beyond managing our time and space, we can also train our brains to become better at focusing. This is where mindfulness and meditation come in. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It sounds simple, but it's a powerful workout for your brain's attentional muscles. Studies using fMRI scans have shown that regular mindfulness practice can actually strengthen the connections in the prefrontal cortex and improve its ability to regulate attention. It's like taking your brain to the gym. When you practice meditation, you're essentially training your ability to notice when your mind has wandered and gently bring it back to your point of focus, like your breath. Each time you do this, you're strengthening the neural pathways responsible for sustained attention. Even just 10 minutes of mindfulness meditation a day can make a significant difference in your ability to concentrate over longer periods. It teaches your brain to be less reactive to distractions, both internal and external, allowing you to maintain a state of calm focus. Another crucial factor for optimal brain function is physical health. What you eat, how much you sleep, and how often you move all have a direct impact on your cognitive abilities. Let's start with nutrition. Your brain needs a steady supply of high-quality fuel. Diets rich in omega-3 fatty acids, found in foods like fish, walnuts, and flax seeds, are excellent for brain health. Antioxidants from fruits and vegetables protect your brain cells from damage. On the other hand, sugary snacks and processed foods can cause your blood sugar to spike and then crash, leading to a fog of mental fatigue that makes concentration nearly impossible. Staying hydrated is also key. Even mild dehydration can impair cognitive function. And then there's sleep. Sleep is not a luxury. It's a biological necessity for your brain. During sleep, your brain clears out metabolic waste products that accumulate during the day, consolidates memories, and repairs itself. If you consistently skimp on sleep, you're starting each day with a brain that is already fatigued and operating at a deficit. Most adults need 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. If you're struggling with focus, take an honest look at your sleep habits. This could be the single most impactful change you make. Finally, let's not forget about exercise. Physical activity increases blood flow to the brain, delivering more oxygen and nutrients. It also stimulates the release of chemicals like dopamine and norepinephrine, which are neurotransmitters that play a crucial role in attention and focus. Even a short walk can have an immediate positive effect on your ability to concentrate. Regular exercise has long-term benefits too, promoting the growth of new brain cells and improving overall cognitive function. So, to recap, our concentration naturally wanes after about 20 minutes because of how our prefrontal cortex uses energy. But we are not powerless. We can work with our brain's natural rhythm using techniques like the Pomodoro method. We can create a distraction-free environment to reduce the cognitive load on our brain. We can train our attentional networks through mindfulness and meditation, and we must support our brain with the fundamentals: a healthy diet, sufficient sleep, and regular exercise. Putting it all together, a day of optimal focus might look something like this. You start with a nutritious breakfast. You plan your most demanding tasks for the time of day when you feel most alert. You set a timer for 25 minutes and dive into your work, with your phone on silent and in another room. When the timer goes off, you take a 5-minute break to stretch and rehydrate. You repeat this cycle, feeling productive and in control. Later in the day, you might go for a walk or do a short workout to re-energize your mind. And you cap it all off by getting a good night's sleep. It's not about forcing yourself to focus for hours on end. It's about being strategic, understanding your own biology, and creating a system that supports your brain instead of fighting against it. By implementing these strategies, you can not only extend your periods of deep focus, but also make the process feel less like a struggle and more like a natural, sustainable flow. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found these insights into the science of concentration helpful. Try experimenting with some of these techniques and see what works best for you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content on how to work smarter, not harder. Let me know in the comments which technique you're most excited to try. See you in the next one.